So, welcome, Andrea. Thank you so much for doing this for us and illuminating talk, as I said, on being the mad, being the light. Um, I would like to start off with talk about surfaces that sometime Amit initially touched upon. The kind of buildings that you're doing have a curvilinear aspect to them. There is the surfaces are undulating, so obviously light bounces off very differently from that surface. But in several of your projects, there's also the boring old straight wall. How do you really make light play its role with a simple setting like that, like the elementary wall, a simple 90-degree wall?
So how the light play with those like
Yes.
so I think there is always a sort of complexity even in the back of our project. We try to bring quality, no? So this is why first of all you need to understand the needs of those spaces, the function, and after you choose the best light for those areas. We like to work with the biggest, let's say, company that can, and we study with them the solution for those spaces. So it's always a dialogue back and forth with the companies, with our also lighting designer to choose the best option. Yeah.
So we've talked about being frugal with light, being sustainable with light, and everything. I'd like to go a bit on the pompous side by asking you, what does drama with light mean in your architecture? How do you introduce dramatic elements, maybe even some cinematic elements, probably in the designs that you do, in the architecture that you do?
So we after the, let's say, studying the 3D model of our project, we see the elements that should be emphasized by light, and we place light in that areas, or we decide to point the light to those areas. So it's a combination of 3D study and 2D location of the light feature to create something really unique. So I think we study a lot through images, through renderings, what we need to do, and through this kind of deep study of our building, mainly in 3D before the project, we find the right solution.
And I mean, even if you've not gone around the fair, you know the kind of lights that are being displayed at Euroluce and several exhibitions across the world. So while architecture can be sustainable and it can have some sort of modulations in light, how much light enters, how much leaves, how much stays. Um, how do you think fairs like this, can be sustainable with the light that they're using? Because not all of these lights, if you know what I mean, can be affordable for common people, or there's no how do I say this? There's no widespread appeal maybe for big lights such as this. So what is
I
your
think through discussion with companies, through discussion with the actors in the industry, we need to convince them how important it is to bring quality to everybody. So they should develop products that talk to everybody, that can bring this kind of quality, and I'm saying quality in all the senses, in terms of energy saving, in terms of light quality, in terms of functionality to everybody. So as architect as well, we shouldn't always propose the best solution, let's say good looking, but also combine beauty together with function, together with the really innovative solution that can improve the life of people. So this is also what I discussed before. It's this kind of value that you need to bring to your project, and you need to that bring you also to talk to people and to make action in order to let's say enlarge the amount of product, enlarge the amount of solutions that can respond and give answer to everybody, not just to, I don't know, the top part, the top class of our society.
so light, as you know, it has a celestial quality as well. There's light in space, there's absence of light in space, so much so that we actually even now measure time or distance actually in terms of light
Yeah.
years, how much time light actually takes to reach somewhere. So what does, if I can bring the aspect of time, what does timeless light mean to you?
Timeless. I always like to say that architecture it's about complexity, no? So maybe a timeless architecture is an architecture that successfully manages this complexity. So every ingredient, every aspect of an architecture was solved in a proper way with the best solution. And I'm talking not about expensive solution, but also low-tech solution, really with a lot of thinking behind that can deliver this kind of buildings that are really timeless. And so maybe what is timeless? It's the thought of people, it's the brain of people, it's the value of people that really through the ages and the decades maybe evolve, but still we bring this kind of value of embracing people, let people coming together. And so this is for me, timeless architecture is an architecture that it's still open. If you think to the big, I don't know, monuments in Italy, I don't know, the Pantheon, the Dome in Milan, they started, I don't know, 800 years ago with an effort of many people. Like everybody was coming together to build this kind of, before was a religious value, now it's more, let's say, not religious, but this is why when a community comes together to build something, this one creates something timeless.